L3 VPN project proposal is a proposal for some ONOS performance improvements. And then that'll probably take us to the end of the hour. If you're interested in staying for our bug review, critical and blocker bugs, we'll use the same call after the meeting, and we'll discuss what needs to be done for our team. So, are you gonna, the second one. Patrick, present for the first.
I think there is misconceptions, so we haven't see yet. So that's why the object so yeah, okay, sorry about it.
We're start with our second topic.
Okay.
Screen.
Sharing.
It's a little cozy in here. Yeah, it's showing over here. I'll pull it over.
Okay, so actually the name, we have some.
Did you share your screen? Did you share?
Let's move down.
So yeah, actually the project name I came up with is performance benchmark and improvement that make more sense. This is the project we're doing, and for right now, what this project is. We have
Jin,
yeah.
sorry, can you close to the microphone? Your voice is very soft, and yeah, sorry to interrupt you. Okay.
Great. Knowing you.
Still on. Okay, so yeah, let me keep on that. So what is this? Okay. So okay, what is performance? First is that is long-term performance project in the ONOS community. This is first part, and for right now, we have assembled while we have assembled issues like CAICT. This is a long name for Academy of Information and Communication, which is SDN. The SDN it's also a community regarding to the SDNs. In the we have for the ON.Lab this project, and so for right now, we want to provide some agreed methodology. So we have a lot of people have a lot of different steps towards the SDN controller, and so people might argue that, but I think we have this problem before we saw any outcome results. So more and more. So this benchmark. So we can use this benchmark results as a reflection on the performance, and also as a reference to improve the ONOS. So I can have some example later. So this is about what? Yeah.
you say performance?
Mm.
Also think of scaling. They're going to be scaling tests as well.
Yeah, there will be scaling. And hope later my example can have some explanation to that part. So this is the 3 reasons I this is so if you are looking at we have a chart there, which is the row intimation time in cluster, and this is done by the testing report from SDN-CTC, which is a company doing especially in this network in SDN's performance test. They have some results here, as you can see. The y-axis is for the time, and the x-axis is for the numbers of switch. So there's a clustering, and they compare the ONOS, which is the blue one, with the other controllers. They might have some results there. And this is something we need to take a deeper look into it. First is that might be, while they're doing the testing, there's some configuration which is not what we expected, or the other part of thing. But we compare, by comparing this, we can see that maybe there's a problem, maybe not. But it's always good to have a look at it. This kind of they are doing automation, so we need to
It doesn't matter what this test is, because I don't understand. I have no idea.
They should provide. Yeah, this one. This test is basically just like in the clustering. So they will first, when they initialize, they will have some masterships decision things, like which node is the master, and the other one is the slave. To see which one is the major one to control the control device.
I'm pretty familiar with what the so if you can explain it better. Also,
yeah.
I guess I have an important thing to say, which is that, if you present any test results, you should probably explain them, because otherwise they're new. So it's very important to note, like, what's the start event? What's the stop event? So also, so this, anyway, just to say, this is not meaningful to me at all.
Okay, so actually this is this information is what I got from their report. So maybe later I can share.
So maybe the report explains
maybe
what it actually was. Yeah. Because
You're just saying that a graph.
Yeah, a graph
So
somewhere.
much we do agree on stuff. When it shows a difference like this,
Yeah.
you're saying it's important to look into.
Yeah.
right. Yeah. This is the things we want to do, but as maybe later you can see that there's actually a lot of right now there's a lot of different kind of test case on different things. Different people will need to take a look at it.
And also, I think let's go back to that, right? So when you see a difference like this, we want to make sure we are also comparing apples to apples, even if you understand exactly what it is. Both controllers doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? What if they're like doing slightly different things?
Right. That's as I say. So when the results come out, we just see, like, on the paper you can just see the results, but then nobody is like, when some of the people, when they see it, they just see the results. So us, we need to take a deeper look into it, so we know. So
And hopefully people who are publishing papers also publish,
yeah. So
context around those words.
Yeah, I'll definitely take a look. When I release this slides, I'll just like add some more explanation on that. So yeah, the other one is that we actually this is our internal one. We are testing the ONOS VTN's performance by using the northbound RESTful APIs on the ONOS to transfer some OpenStack information to see how long time the ONOS can process the information. And what you can see here is that we are comparing. What I do a comparison here is that I'm comparing the one node with the 3 nodes cluster, and you can see like most of the comparison is that they're pretty similar in the time, but also there is some part of the function that the cluster can take more time to process the requests. We are using this way to find out like specifically which function might have some problems, so we can take a look into it. This is internally when we do assessments, how to do it. This is just an example. We're using a SOAP UI to test this API.
How many runs is this? So this do like multiple runs and then find out average and standard deviation. Or
this one we use as I recall, we test like 5 times, and we do a average number there, and then we can exclude some unusual data. So maybe 6 times.
I have a basic question.
Yeah.
So how was the test selected for your like some of the some components that you have few components?
What I understand the question is that how we decided which test we are doing. The tests, why selecting the tests, there's multiple reasons. Some of the tests we do that is because they are existing. So we just like we reduce to verify the test file they publish is the same as our reviews have. And some of them, like this one, is that because we are developing this part, so we will have some. We make some tests, and for this is for like OpenFlow, because right now a lot of the tests is for the OpenFlow, and so they have a lot of the testing requirements, like we produce it, and for a lot of the traditional testing case, because we have some people, they understand this part, so they can provide us from the traditional networking part how they're doing the test. So we can just like we can use our software way to simulate all this, simplify part of it. And, but like for part of the testing case, we are also trying to find out like how to test it is the best. But for right now, what we do is like we do a variation in the same scenario, same environment. Like we can see like how different they are, like version to version. Yeah. So the reason is why. And the other part is that we want to share the testing methodology and the testing tools to cover more the testing case. As here you can see that we are using and Spider to test multiple protocols. This is our setup. Because some of this testing tools like Byron and HCF, because they are costly and they have license, and the setup is it's not an easy job to let everybody to set it. So one of my point here is that it's better that some here is resource and a lot of people when to go and just so you can stimulate more about what kind of in case they can yeah, it's better than just research and just people thinking about it, how the testing case is. So yeah, this is our setup right now. We are using virtual machine. Jump. So this is another this is what we are using the PCEP to test on the PCEP protocols device. And, but this part is that what I want to say is that because this testing case we have some problems. Actually, when we are doing this test, we are just doing similar to what we do on the open flow. We are just how we do that is that we are using HCF to assign those PCEP protocols device to, and we can see the actually it's pretty similar. And then on the clustering part, you can see that it's we are using HCF to assign 700 devices to every node. And but when we communicate with specialists in PCEP, they are telling me that this kind of testing is not similar to how PCEP work in the reality. So this is why when we are doing this test, especially in the traditional network protocols, we need more people to join in and to see how this kind of testing should do. Yeah.
Jin,
Yeah.
so something about this. I think to make the communities clear about these ones. So basically the simulator the southbound PCEP network is the protocols. So over here we are using the two scenarios here. The number one from the left to the right. You see the column 1 is the node 1, use the one node. So we get the 3,400 the network element in the network. Okay, so the connection will be like this. We have controllers, and through the southbound port PCEP to talk to the simulators. So the simulators will allocate was created the 400 element. Okay, that is the case. So in the third column, you see the ONOS 3 node. They have the 3 colors. Each one have 700. What that means? That means we split the underneath the network 2,100 node into the 3 group. We'll talk to one instance in ONOS and through the PCEP protocol. Okay, so overall, we'll get on each node, we'll get the 21,000 master plus the slave, the 3 group. Total is the 2,100 node. Okay, so by this, what we know is that on southbound we use the PCEP. So the numbers show that the single node we can handle the 3400 network element. But for after we added more instance, like we expand the ONOS controller to the 3-node instance, we actually total number of the network elements cut down to the 2100. That is something as wrong as nothing related to the how accurately you simulate the PCEP network or not. So I think the team should focus on the number, and later on we're going to show the published how we simulate the PCEP. But based on my best knowledge on this environment, I don't think that is matter. The matter is after we increase the node, take a look at the ODLs and ONOS and all these threes. So the total number cluster can handle is cut down. That is the key. Okay. Any questions you can?
So, Patrick, what are the criteria or characteristics you're using to determine what the upper bound is? Is it dropped connections? Is it CPU limits, memory limits?
It's just after like it going upper, it will the things we see is that it didn't recognize. Just like when you do in the console, like how many devices they are showing, like that's how many it is. Like for example, on the ONOS part, it's like 3400. If we go into 3500, it just will still showing us like there.
It would be interesting to figure out what the limitations are, whether it's memory constrained, resource constrained, whether there's some setting that says 3400 devices and we don't do anything. So figuring out kind of what the bottlenecks are in these sort of scale experiments can be helpful because they're this is, I mean,
yes. Actually, I'm sorry. So actually, I agree with Brian's that we need to do a deep dive analysis about this case. I also asked the team, teams to capture the GUI, so the topologies, all these informations. So I think most of the case, we already have the screen captures, except this one, unfortunately. I just found this last evenings when I talked to the Jin. So later on, we will add more information for each testing case. But today, I don't think we have enough time to focus on this deep dive to analysis the root cause. What I suggest here is so the Jin was trying to summarize the issue we found. Okay, we probably will not set the correct the environment or not the some things, but looks like we probably was to spend more time to dig into find out the root cause. That is the point, the message we want to deliver to the teams.
The other thing I observed here is, with the exception of like ONOS core API and a small number of others, we've actually kind of deprecated the use of using feature install and uninstall for.
Yeah.
So we typically use
like when we are doing the overflow test, we found out like when you install something or activate something, you might still need to uninstall something like that. And because this is the things why I said like because when we're doing some tests, we are not that configuration we want to do. Like here, so that's why here I said like this is what we consider.
So the recommendation actually is to use the application subsystem, which will call the features and uninstall and install across the cluster.
Yeah, I mean like first is that this data right now is not saying is being final version of our data. This is the data we get. We come out when we are trying to test something. As you see, for this this testing method, we still have some debate and computation kind of thing. So this is also a standpoint for me to say we are trying to start this project. There's a lot of things we need to communicate. We need to know. So for us, as an internal one, we can have this kind of problem. But if it's tending to external institution like previously we see the PII testing tools, they might be no less than us, or maybe more. I'm not sure. But this kind of testing report is emerging, so we're just saying like we want to people. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, maybe the architects here can guide the process by making some comments. When we talk about PCEP, in a sense, you calculate your LSP. Yeah? You have an engine and you have a client sitting on the data plane. So it would really help on the issue. Yeah, I haven't seen this before.
Yeah, this is just what we are doing.
From ONOS perspective, I would recommend that we get the input from the team here, but see how we can best benchmark the performance of ONOS, whether it's PCEP or something else. But PCEP is a very unique case. Yeah, you have the number crunching engine, actually the processor that I don't know. It doesn't sit even in ONOS. It's outside ONOS, correct?
It could sit outside or inside.
Yeah, so is that a bottleneck, or that's more like the number of calculation is becoming really a bottleneck, or the number of like police that you need to establish? Because to me, PCEP and ONOS, they are not really a concrete example for how to benchmark the performance of ONOS. Maybe you guys can provide like I think that's Brian. I think this graph market. Somebody's looking at the graph and they're now speaking this here. I think I can say like no, they are the right. There are so many things that I think if you can provide those things with the report.
There will be things we need to know, like when people considering, like for me, I'm already familiar with the PCEP, how it works and how to test it.
Yeah.
So when doing this test, I want more specific people who know this, familiar with this, like which variable is important to know when you're doing this benchmarking.
Yeah, I mean, there are some generic variables which are applicable no matter what test you're doing. What is the CPU?
Yeah, CPU.
What is the memory?
Yeah. That's fine. And okay, this is a case several weeks ago we encountered. Just an example here, and still is using the BII's testing tool. They are trying to test the controllers packet out rate here, and as you see here, the other controllers after the full 40,000 package per second, it will just it's keeping to 50,000 package per second, and without losing any package. And by this part is like because last time we checked with I think it's Thomas. He told me that they are not very agree with this testing methodology, is because they take a deeper look into it. They found that when they are sending this package, they actually also contain with the ARP package. Sending this ARP package, and it's like it's maybe bringing more compute power from the controller, so it's not the best reflection to a controller's performance. So this is like when we're talking about a PCEP. So yeah, you can see that a lot of these things we need to settle down before we can have a final testing scenario or testing case. Our package.
And it's packets. And I guess you're saying, Thomas was saying that those ARP packets are actually processed by ONOS's ARP subsystem. So not necessarily a good benchmark for the packet in speed.
The normal proxy R for like host discovery module, ARP-based discovery. We're doing a host event, we're putting something in the store, we're propagating an event to the cluster.
Yeah, so it's maybe more like ARP performance and less like packet performance.
I see. So maybe I know that in our testing framework we have a bench which is doing the similar testing. So this is things like when we do conflict, we need to talk to different people, different institutions, so we know how they're doing it. So just can conquer some misunderstanding between them. And I'm short of time here, but here is like we can see that just reviewing some some testing report is out there, which is more significant. One is the Open Daylight one, one is the BII one. This two is also as a reference to our, when we are starting from. We produce this testing case and to see like within there if there's any problems, so we can come back and ask. And so this is in September. They will have a second version of the performance report. Let's see what they cover now. That one is the overflows, which is similar to the previous one, BGP and the netcom, and performance, and also they will cover part of this testing phase in the classroom. So hopefully we can cover more, especially in the traditional one. And also it's also mentioned that they will also capture the CPU and RAM usage. Actually, when I reproducing their ODL's performance report, the last one, I do operation, and I see the ODL is using more CPUs and RAMs when they're doing that, and also in a specific open switch version, they are not very good. Yeah, they told me that they are not very good at the 2.0 version of the open switch about the table features, and you can see that the CPU is like increasing dramatically when it started. So maybe that one can do more. I'll share it with you the CPU's graph I kept it.
So why do you get this up here? I think it's good to know what they're going to test, but I think with all I think it's important that whatever test we're going to do, that we provide the reason for why we think this is an important test network, right? Why is it? And then how we think we should measure it, right? Being very specific on plants, and also what the consideration right, and try to bring the industry to a very to a level where any degree, yes, this is important for networking. Yes, this would be the right way to measure it. Okay, understand how we're going to resolve that. Right, so too many out and have no idea, you know, how why they're doing it, how they're doing it, and
right. So yeah,
so let's not
yeah, doing a lot, they don't cover a lot of the traditional ones. Actually, we're doing a lot. We are trying to do a lot of the traditional protocols. It's not just for just showing people we are doing this configuration, like we have this kind of thing. I mentioned this project is called benchmark and improvement.
Yeah.
So for this, like when we are not necessarily we just do, like for example, they are doing a GP account. We are just do this just because they are doing it. We want to do it. We are doing it first. It's because we are developing it, and we don't know when we do this benchmark. Looks like if we are doing this test right, we can our controller very good features, so we can know what the limit is, so we can improve that. Like for example, we are doing we just expand. There's really some issues there, so we can focus more people not time to what so we can foresee if there's any change that we need to solve. But if we solve earlier, that would be better. This is our planning. As I said, now in this very well, if any suggestions, criticize about other people who are interested. Yeah.
but we have to be versus no and my expectation for each of them right, and then here's the points.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can see factoring out all the pieces.
Yeah. So actually, that's why people doing comparison is that they can eliminate some part of it. Assuming these two instances doing it in the same environment, so the result just come out. And if you asking them like what the factors they are, they are, we are doing this comparison. The factor doesn't matter because the result is there. Well, it's an easy way, but I mean, like for here, we try to not do that easy. We try to make it a long one is because we want to take deeper look into it and yeah, just like make it not just advertising for us. Like it can be a reference for our development. So yeah, so hopefully at the end of this year, so early next, we want to make the testing methodology in concrete and can produce data that as a reference for development team to use for improvement. Yeah, that's the final.
all these things. And so I think perhaps, I mean, you didn't state it explicitly, but it'd be really nice to, get these performance tests integrated into our automated testing.
Like right now, I have seen, because like previously when we are using they have the testing center, which is the machine. They just using a GUI on the Windows to do the test. Free. I have to open a virtual machine on my Mac to then they see that there's a Linux command line interface there. You can hopefully you can integrate, but that one will take some time. If you're familiar with their CLI.
I was talking to a few folks. ON.Lab, we have a process. Initially, you just bring the requirements, and the technical team, they review the requirements. And once the requirements pass, then you ask the members to bring contributions towards the development of the CD based on the collaborative development. But first, you need to have a set of requirements.
Yeah, so it doesn't really, so people with community bring projects, suggest projects, right, and they hopefully they'll bring them into the TSD position and would review there, right, and then they develop and they build it, and that would be kind of the ideal way, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
We do like a project lifecycle, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, is that exist here? Yeah.
Yes. We do have a project lifecycle.
Okay. So this is a requirement, or more like which phase is this?
Maybe this is afterwards. Like when you have some product there already, so we can, or like this is development. Like after that, after the benchmarking. Deployment is doing well with benchmarking. Like, so after that, we can reference from the benchmarking result, so we know what to improve. So maybe for next version, so we know.
Okay, so Bill said that, so that exists, Brian, you said that. The project lifecycle is already an existing.
The projects proposed for the project, and some projects talk about new features. Many projects are focused on new features or functionality integrations. Integrations with other systems. ONOS. Be a testing effort. It could form under the auspices of a project. If there was specific, so typically a project is going to have some collateral of its own, right? And in this case, the collateral is tests, and essentially test beds and configuration for those tests. So when you have collateral, it makes sense to have a life cycle for a project. It's first proposed, it's accepted, then it goes through an incubation process. At some point, it's mature. At that point, you include it as part of the core. I mean, eventually, with some of these tests, we hope to get to a point where we can run them periodically, nightly, weekly, whatever, so that we catch these regressions earlier. And then if at some point the projects become irrelevant or no longer supported, we have a way to phase them out.
In terms of execution, you don't have something like a TSC, the voting system, That's because.
Well, yeah. So there is a voting system for new projects that are introduced, and also for collaborations. Yeah. Is that?
So Brian, can I say something? So the and the scalability cases we we need the community to join these ones to work on to the methodologies and everything. So I didn't hear any people's from ES Loop who want to join these ones. So probably the DST or the communities can help us to get more people involved in these ones. So we really want this one to be communities. The engagement is not the single or the individual people's or the groups the activities. So this is my comments about this.
For project creation review, and part of that is having a community ready.
Okay.
We can certainly help you find community members.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, because the microphones are probably not put into the right place. I didn't hear some of the conversations and questions from other people, so I just make this a brief request. Okay, so I'll catch you guys later. Thank you.
So we'll do this at the end of this meeting. We just begin with David's standing item. Okay. So with that, I think what we'll do is we're going to transition this call to a bug review. If that's not of interest to you, feel free to drop off. But we're going to do the outstanding blocker and critical bugs for 1.7, and then hopefully when we put those are, we'll put together a plan for a timeline for our CC. Yeah. Thanks for joining the CC meeting. We'll see you next week, and I think that'll be an early meeting.